driving.
This doesn't look good. I mean, here we are riding around this guy. He's flatlander drives in the middle of the road. Come on, we're switching places.
Well, this is just rude. Hello and welcome to the On the Road with Danny and Robert show from the Kentucky Valley Educational Cooperative. And as you can see, we aren't necessarily on the road because in lieu of the COVID-19, we're doing our distance.
What's up with this, Robert? I mean, we're on the road here, and you and Andrew pulled a trick on me here. Looks like you're sitting in a car, and Andrew's in a school bus, and I didn't know you were going to do that. And here I am with a brick wall in my background. But it might be the message. It might be like you guys are driving me up the wall. Could I take that as a hint right here?
Well, let's take it as this, is that because it's on the road, we just assumed there'd be a vehicle involved. So maybe talking to you is like talking to a brick wall.
Oh,
Perhaps
okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
But
Okay,
thank you.
I'll fix that before the next time, okay?
All right. But thank you for that beginning introduction, because we do want to say welcome back to Andrew Castle, who was with us before, talking about our census. So what do we have today? Because we are Zooming, and regardless of what platform you're using, we're using Zoom. There may be others that you use. This is new to some of us as far as being part of this and presenting these. So we're going to do a very basic, and I won't even call myself novice. It's novicer and novicist. Danny might be the novicer, I'm the novicist. Just trying to learn this, but we're going to go through some very basics.
Lately, I'm beginning to believe that.
Okay, yeah, you do that. So we're going to be going through some basics of what we're trying to learn as we do presentations using the platform we're using, which is Zoom. Andrew is the proficient and distinguished person on this, and he's going to make sure that whatever we say is accurate and correct us if we get anything wrong. One of the first things, of course, you'll have to do is you'll have to download the Zoom app, which you have two choices. There's a free version, and then there's a paid-for version. Once you get in that, you'll see different things at the bottom. So Danny had asked earlier at the time, goes, how did we get here? How did I even get to sign on here?
I almost didn't today.
Yeah, so because you were a novicer.
I'm a novicer.
But so what I'm going to do first is we're going to go over all these things at the bottom. But the first thing I'm going to do is go to this share screen button and show you on the screens that how to schedule a meeting. So let me find what I'm looking for here.
I'll jump right in here if you need me to and help you out,
You might need to, because I can't find what I'm looking for. So let me know when you can see a screen that says scheduling a meeting.
I see it.
Okay. So once you get in, you'll have your little table over here to the side, but you click schedule a meeting, and then you'll have your meeting. So whatever meeting title you want to call this, you would type that in there, and I'm going to say my meeting with good friends. Okay, that's what I'm going to put in here. All right, and you can put a description in there as you wish. Then your date and time, and let's say we want to start that right at lunchtime, so you can have a lunchtime meeting, or later you would put that in. We are in Eastern Time Zone. It's not a recurring meeting. Some meetings you might want to require registration, you might not, depending on how much security you want to have on this. I do have a required meeting passcode that the only people that can join have this passcode. I do want you to have your videos for the host and the participant to be on. For audio, they can call by their phone. If they can't get on a computer, they can always call in. So I collect both. Enabling a waiting room that allows me as the host, or whomever is the host, to admit people one at a time. And then if Danny and I are doing this show together, I could put it. Yeah.
Before you do that, scroll back up there. You skipped one block up there. Up there with the time of the meeting. You didn't talk about that, did you?
Yeah.
Does that mean once you get started, I'm going to sit here and listen to you for a whole hour?
Yes, you do. You
can go longer. Or?
You have to listen to me the whole time. Isn't that right, Andrew?
No. Thankfully, he does not. So.
Oh, good.
The scheduling part is honestly more for record keeping than anything. If you schedule a meeting for noon, for example, and you want to start at 30 minutes early, it will let you. You won't keep anyone out. The host can still start it. Folks can still join it. And likewise, if you schedule a meeting for 1 hour and or even 15 minutes and you go over, it's not going to end the meeting and kick you out. So the time is more of a record keeping reminder calendar type thing.
Good.
Yeah.
Management.
And Andrew, thank you for the information, which is information I wish that Danny didn't have, but thank you. So, but because this is the On the Road with Danny and Robert show, I could put Danny's email in here. He could be a co-host, so in case I'm running late or something happens, Danny could continue working with everyone. But I'm not going to make him the host today. I'm going to
Well, I really ought to be, because I'm normally the driver, you see, so I really ought to be like the host.
Yeah, we'll talk about that someday.
Okay.
You driving a brick wall right now. Okay. So, and once you have this in there, you can put a whatever calendar you want. And what I do is I go to copy invitation. Then this box will pop up, copy meeting invitation. I go to whatever web browser I'm using. So right now we're using Outlook, so I'll put in the invitations, paste that into my invitation, hit send. And so our meeting is scheduled. And then as a host, when you go into that link, you can admit people one at a time. Now, I didn't get into this easily. What I had to do is there are lots of tutorials out there for Zoom meetings that I was watching prior to helping Danny learn more as we go through. Now, again, this was basic for me, and Andrew has some more information he'll share later. So these are some of the basic things. These are really good. The scheduling, joining, meeting controls, which we'll talk about, etc. If you have Google Calendar, you can join through Google Calendar, which is looks a little different than what I just did, but it's still the same information or the same process of this. So at the top of this, you'll see a stop share. So when I click that button, it's going to come back to the screen where you'll get to see the three of us again. Okay. So as we're talking about things, we'll go through, and one of the buttons I like, favorite button of mine, is this little mute button. So as the host, I can see people, and sometimes you'll have background noise. You may have dogs barking. You may have construction. Danny
picking on you a little.
Danny may just be talking, and so you just say, I don't want to hear Danny, so I'll just mute him. I see his lips moving. He doesn't know I've muted him at this point. He does now. So, but now, welcome back, Danny.
People picking on you, they can get muted, huh?
Yes, that's why I will never mute Andrew.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
You're welcome. So
I see a lot of red in my future here. Over there.
Okay. So the next button over is a stop video button. If you don't want to be seen, just click that. My name pops up, or whomever, or whatever you have on there. So if you need to walk away for a moment, you can hit that. You can also come right back on by clicking again, and you pop back up. Here's a neat little feature here. This choose virtual background. Now, depending on your computer, I have an old laptop that will not allow me to do this, but this Mac that I have, newer, will. You can choose a virtual background. So, of course, being on the road, I picked a vehicle here. But let's say I'm feeling like I need to relax.
A minivan?
Pardon me?
Why'd you pick a minivan?
Because I'm a family man, and
okay.
But let's say I've had enough of Danny, and I need to escape. I can go into this background and just sit back, have a sip. It's coffee. It's not anything else. So, but it relaxes me. But you can change it to whatever, and you know.
See, I can understand. I guess it is about kids, a minivan. But Robert. Andrew's in a school bus. That's even more about kids. That's great.
Yeah, it is.
KVIC's all about kids.
KVIC's all about kids. You're exactly right. Good point. So, but that's the video function. Then there's the security function, and with security, Andrew, will you talk quickly about why you may want to, with small numbers, admit people and not just let everyone join in?
Well, you all may have heard about Zoom is being used a lot right now across the country due to the current circumstances, and you've heard about the new it's a new thing called Zoom bombing. You're photo bombing. There's Zoom bombing, where folks will crash a Zoom meeting and do inappropriate things. That's not really Zoom's fault per se, because when you make that meeting ID, when you schedule a meeting, it's an 8-digit code, and anyone who has that code can just join the meeting, unless you have two options. One, you can password protect the meeting. And earlier, Robert, when you were doing the schedule, showing the schedule screen, on there was the require password. And if that's too much for you, there's another way. And this is what you did with us this morning. You can, require, enable waiting room.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Yep.
So that when I joined Robert's scheduled meeting, it didn't let me in immediately. It says waiting for host to admit you.
Yeah.
So Robert sees on his screen that Andrew is in the waiting room, and it's up to him whether to admit you or not. And if you take that step, that's really all you need to do to control who's in your meeting. Now, of course, the problem is right now it's just the three of us, so that's not a problem. But if you're having a meeting with 100 people,
right,
which happens sometimes, that might not be very convenient. So you may want to use the password option.
Yeah. And with that too, and there are certain meetings you don't want to have on Zoom because of that. Like if you're having important confidential information meetings, do not Zoom them. Because
you wouldn't want to have a personnel meeting or an executive meeting. No.
That would be out there, so I would not use that. One other thing, as far as when we look at as you're setting up your meeting, you'll notice Andrew's and Danny's shirts, and they look normal. But if you look at mine, you're like, why is Robert's shirt? Did they put it on wrong? No, I didn't put it in the right image. Like there's a section where you put mirror image, so it looks like what you look like. So my shirt would have been turned around to look normal than it is. So.
Well, it does look normal to us. We're seeing it normal.
Oh, are you? Because I'm not seeing it normal.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. Yeah. That's fine. So when we look at this security, let's say you do notice someone in there that you don't want, boom, you can get them out of there that you want. So that's helpful too. So when we have our participants, you'll see that. You can see them over here on the left side. And let's say there's someone else you would like to have be part of the conversation, and they're waiting. You can come down and hit this invitation. You click invite, copy the invitation, you can email it straight to them, and then they'll go into the waiting room and you'll be able to be in there. The other issue here is you look over, you can see chat. And let's say that I'm going to put a chat to everyone.
I guess that's a safety feature, isn't it, Robert? I don't see that invite button here because I'm not the host. Is that why I don't see that?
That's why. If you were the host, you would have that. So
okay,
that way the host limits who's part of this participation participates in this meeting. So with the chat version, I have the people in there. I want to do a chat to everyone. I'll type it in there, hit enter, and you'll see, for me to everyone, it's great to see you today, Andrew. But let's say, for example, that Danny is like doesn't want to have everyone know about this. He can say, I'm going to send something privately to Andrew myself and exclude Robert. And I noticed some typing going on, so I don't know what's being said. Now, Andrew, my question for you as a host, I'm seeing this to everyone, and this has been recorded. Can I see the private messages once the recording has happened?
No. So I can choose, just like you said, right now it's set to everyone. So anything I type will be sent to, everyone. Now I can also choose Robert Brown or Danny Vance. And when I choose you, a little red thing pops up to the side that says privately.
Okay.
So no one else in the meeting can see that message.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. All right.
Well, you should have seen what he just wrote about you.
It's complimentary, I'm sure. I can't think of anything else.
Well, maybe not. I'll not tell, though.
Yeah, no, it's Andrew. It's complimentary. You're something else. So we're going to go on over to the share screen, and this is what we've been doing. And you'll already have whatever screen you want up. So that's how I was able to show the tutorials, because right here It says Zoom video tutorials. I click that, go over to share, boom. You'll see the tutorials, you'll still see the people. And once you're finished with that page, you could be having PowerPoints, you could have a video that you're wanting to show, or document you're wanting to go through with folks. And that's how you were able to show that. So let's say I would stop sharing, I click that. But let's say Danny has something to share. I would go here, and right now I have one participant can share at a time, which that would be me. So I'm going to click multiple participants. That means Danny could also share, or Andrew could share. So I don't know if y'all have anything you want to share at this time, but if not,
so I just would click share, and then how do I?
If you have a document already pulled up, all right. So, all right, Danny has. All right, so we see your screen.
You see that?
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
See, now that's the difference in me and you, Robert. See, you chose a minivan for your background, but I would be choosing this dude right here. You know, just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
so that works, doesn't it?
I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to give you this one because of all the things I picked. When I could have had the dream car, I could have had the Batmobile, and I picked a minivan. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll try to teach you better though.
Okay. Yeah, I could have had the Millennium-bitted cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. I could have done anything, but see, but I'm novice, so I'm novice, so I'm learning. Right. So there we go.
That worked pretty good for a novicer, didn't it?
Yes, it did. You did very well. You did very well.
Imagine that.
So, and then
Andrew taught me how to do that before, so that's how I did that.
Okay, so there's cheating involved. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So,
and I want to interject. Like you said, you as the host can turn off screen sharing so that you can prevent folks from sharing the screens if you don't want them to have that ability.
Okay. Good to know.
Good thing you didn't know that before I did that. Huh?
No, you got me. I'll have to admit, you got me good. The next is a record button. If it's something you want to come back to show later, of course, you would hit record, and it would record the session with the Zoom that I have. I know you can see all three of us on this particular, because I'm actually recording in another option right now, but you would see each person as they speak. So when you're having a meeting, when a speaker speaks, their picture pops up and fills in the screen as you go. So, but as you're talking, you as a host, you have this choice. So right now, I'm seeing Andrew and Danny in the screen. So let's just say I would prefer just to see myself. I would select speaker view. So whomever's speaking would pop up within there. But I like gallery view so I can see everyone as we go through. There are other options in here that I haven't learned yet, but I'm working on that, and that's the breakout room. So as we move forward into our learning, Danny and me, and through Andrew's help, we're going to be able to have meetings where we could have like groups that have 50 people in a meeting, and we want to break up into 5 rooms, sitting 10 people in a room. There's a way to pre-assign these people to a room. They'll go in those breaker room. You have a time limit, and you come back in the big room and share. Still novice, haven't learned that piece yet. But if you're just new to this kind of format, it is fun to get in there, get past this basic, because I tell you, it's a little intimidating for me to go in and do this kind of work. So having good friends like Danny and Andrew to do this with, where we can joke around a little bit and talk about this and work on this, I'm able to get through some of that fear and that uncertainty, and then realize, it's just like talking to them if I'm in the office. So
we'll help you along a little bit, Robert, as you go.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. But now, Andrew,
on a serious note, Robert, I appreciate you doing this. We like to have fun with this on the road thing. We pick at each other and gals, but this is something that I can see that we're going to have to learn how to use. Us old timers like me that don't know how to do this, we're going to have to figure this out, because this is a lot of the way we're going to be communicating with our schools, our teachers, parents, whoever, and colleagues. So I appreciate you getting us started in this process.
Well, it's starting for me too. So I think it's a great way, because here we are in 3 different locations in the state right now,
right,
and we're able to have this conversation together. And But before we end today, Danny, do you have anything? I mean, not Danny, but Andrew, do you have anything additional you would like to add about the Zoom session today?
No, I think you covered the basics really well. And like you said, this is the kind of thing, it can be intimidating at first if you've not participated in a virtual meeting before or use this type of technology. But as you can attest to, once you play with it a couple times, it gets fairly easy.
Yeah.
You get used to it.
One thing I learned doing this, no one scolded me. No one smacked my hand and said, "Don't touch that button," But I just was able to. It's like a video game. I was able to once I learned the basic rules. Okay, I can beat this. I can win. So it made me
one
more
thing's we'll
comfortable.
have to work on here, Robert. Once we get back to where we're not this social distance, we get back on the road again. You're showing over here in the driver's seat. That's not gonna work out. You're gonna have to get back over there. Because I'm going to be driving. There you go. That's you need to get used to that. Don't get used to being on the other side. So
I'm gonna keep my opinion and my thoughts to myself and just smile, Danny. Okay. And with that concludes our On the Road show today. And we hope you join us next time. And on behalf of Kentucky Valley Educational Cooperative, we thank Andrew for joining us. And we'll holler at you later.
Holler at you later.